Today I am sharing with you some new Dollar Tree Christmas DIYs. I've had so much fun creating all of these to share with you, and I just can't wait to even get into it. Hi, if you are new, welcome. My name is Jennifer, and this is a little bit of Calm and Crazy. Like I said, I have a ton of Dollar Tree DIYs to share with you, and that is what I like to share on my channel. Some Dollar Tree DIYs, budget decor, easy crafts, and if that sounds great to you, I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss any more of my videos. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a big thumbs up. You can also find me on Instagram. It is a little bit of Calm and Crazy over there, just like it is here. And because I have so much to share with you today, I just want to jump right on into them. For my first project, I am taking this box with little wood pieces in it, and I am using a total of 4 pieces per ornament, so I can get a total of 9 ornaments per box. I will also be using some Dollar Tree stickers and stencils in order to create the ornaments. Like I mentioned, each ornament will use 4 pieces of wood, and in order to attach them together, I'm just using some wood glue. You could also use some hot glue. I just like that the wood glue doesn't allow a gap in between the pieces of wood. This is one of those projects that I think it is so easy to do several at one time, so I like to work in like an assembly fashion. So I go ahead and get all my wood pieces put together. After that, I choose the color of paints that I want for the bases, based off of the stickers or the stencils that I'm using. So then I paint all of my bases using whatever color it is that matches your decor, and then I go in with my stickers or my stencils. Now, some of my stickers I went ahead and I painted, and on the stencils, I have done so many stenciling projects. I'm obsessed with stenciling this year, and I will share a couple of those with you so you can check those out. One of my favorites is the sled that I made, so make sure you check that out if you have missed that. When I'm stenciling, I use tape to cover up the areas that I don't want to accidentally get any paint on. I'm going in with a stencil brush. This is actually one I picked up at Walmart. It comes in a pack of 2. It's a Waverly brush. I love that it's really dense, but it's not too big. I get the paint on the brush. I offload a lot of that paint because you don't want your brush to be too wet or you will seep paint underneath your stencil. So those of you that are complaining that you're having a really hard time, that is one thing that you want to be careful of. So here I'm using a Crayola paintbrush. It's just a lot smaller. It's not meant for stenciling, but it works great on these smaller areas. And I'm going to do it again right here on that little blade of the skate. Go in with that Crayola paintbrush again, so that I can just get into that teeny tiny little area. I do the exact same technique where I get the paint on it, I offload, and then I pounce straight up and down, no side to side motions. Side to side is the other way that you push paint underneath your stencil, so you want to avoid doing that. After that, I just use my hot glue gun in order to attach my stickers onto my wood parts of my ornament. Megan from Glue Guns and Roses actually did a similar ornament using a coffee stain technique. I think that video would be absolutely worth checking out. In order to hang these, I just took a small piece of twine. I did tie a tiny little knot on each end and then just a little dab of hot glue, and there you have it. Super cute, fast, easy, and affordable ornaments for your Christmas tree. I also think these would be so cute as little tags on gifts, because that way then somebody gets a tag, but then it becomes an ornament for their tree. Just makes it a little special. For my next project, I am using the 8x10 stretch canvas that you can grab at Dollar Tree, as well as some ribbon. To start off, I am removing all of the staples by using a screwdriver. I actually ended up going in with like a mini screwdriver, tiny pliers, and I'll be really honest, I did have a slight accident by doing this. It's not the easiest thing. Don't put your hand in the screwdriver's way. Just don't do that. Avoid that at all costs. If you don't want to use the back side of this and you're okay just leaving it and with the staples inside of it, just skip this step. One, it'll be faster, and 2, you avoid injury altogether. Now you can see that I'm trimming out the inner section of the canvas because I will be hot gluing that onto the frame. Here I went in with scissors, and then I'm like, you know what? This is what my rotary blade is for. So I pulled it out, and that way I got some quick, fast, straight lines. I messed up. I told you that I hot glue this down, but I'm actually going in with this tacky glue to give it a try. I'm in this thing of trying different glues just to see what I like on what projects. Tacky glue will give you a little bit more playtime. Hot glue does dry faster. So you can just kind of decide from there which one of these you would rather use. After I gave my tacky glue some time to set up, and now I'm building out my Christmas tree, I took the green ribbon, I folded it in half in order to create a triangle, and now I'm doing the same thing with the rest of my ribbons. I'm cutting them at different lengths, going from shorter to longer as I work down my tree. I fold them in half, and then I cut at an angle so that the angles on both sides will match up. After I have all of my pieces laid out, I went back in with tacky glue again in order to secure it. Honestly, I would have just used some hot glue and put it like in the corners of the ribbon. I think that would have been the easiest and the fastest way to go. But again, for some reason, I'm in the mood to play with glue. So go for the fast way. Don't be me. As you can see, I did decide to go in with a little bit of hot glue. I did add some red ribbon in between the pieces of the larger ribbon. I'll be honest, I kind of wish I hadn't. I think it looks better without it. I kind of like the gap between the larger ribbon. Now I'm going in with the metal word believe, and I will be using some hot glue to attach that down. If you didn't see it, which I'm assuming you probably did, I actually have one of those little gold star stickers that I also picked up from Dollar Tree. They came in that pack of like wooden stickers. I love those packs when they bring that out for the different holidays. But I didn't want to leave it gold, so I did bring out some silver paint and I painted over that. And there you have it. I think this is so cute. Other than I think if I can not damage this, because I am definitely not redoing that frame, I'm going to see if I can get that red ribbon off. I think I might like it a little bit better if I remove the red ribbon. I'd love to know what you think. Let me know that in the comments below. So my third project can be used either to make garland, or it can be used also to make an ornament. I'm taking these little wooden stockings that come in a pack of 5 from Dollar Tree, as well as some leftover scrapbook paper that I have from Hobby Lobby. I always pick it up when it's 4 for $1. I will also be using this little scrap of a microfiber towel that comes in the automotive section at Dollar Tree as well. To start off with, I am using some Mod Podge. This is actually the luster. I normally have the matte, and this is a thinner formula, or at least it seems like it is to me. I am so used to the matte that this was so drippy. I'm not used to it. But I go in and I just apply a thin coat over all the stockings. Again, this is like an assembly line for me because I know that I'm covering them all. Once I have them covered with their Mod Podge, I add their paper on. I don't use any fancy tools to do this. I just use my hands and my fingers. As I put the paper on, I just press away towards the edges, making sure that I have no bubbles in my paper. Once the paper is on there, I just leave it alone. I let it set up and dry. Once it has completely dried, then I can go in and I can remove my paper. Any areas where I have a ton of extra paper, I will trim with some scissors. After that, I love to go in with sandpaper, a 60 grit sandpaper, and get just a really clean cut. So to say, picture me doing quotation marks. I like to go around it because it just gets the paper off perfectly, and it makes it look like the paper was supposed to be on whatever it is you're doing. Like this, it just makes it look like it was the perfect fit. While you're sanding, you want to make sure that you are sanding side to side and away from the paper. You never want to sand towards the paper, or you could risk the chance of lifting up the edges of your paper. If that does happen, go ahead and just take a little bit of Mod Podge underneath that paper and just press it right back down. Once all my stockings are trimmed out, now it is time to use the microfiber cloth in order to add the fuzzy little part on top. I think this is so cute. So I'm just trying to measure out and decide what size I want. I'm going to go ahead and attach it first, and then I will just trim around it. If you want to do a pattern first and try it that way, by all means, you can try it that way. But I find that this kind of material is kind of hard to write on or hard to do a pattern with. This was just a lot easier for me to do it this way. In order to attach it, I just used hot glue. It's quick, it's fast, it's my favorite thing. So that's how I did it. The packs of the wood stockings actually come with these little pieces of twine or jute. So I'm just taking them and tying a little knot in the end of each one, and then hot gluing that on an angle at the very
top of each of the stockings, and then I'm taking another piece of twine that you can also grab from either the automotive or the craft section. You can find it in both places at Dollar Tree, and hanging that on there in order to create a garland. But if you want to, of course, use these as ornaments, just using the original twine, and they are all set and ready to go. I think that this is so cute, and of course you change out the paper to match your decor, and you have your own custom little stocking garland. Using this cute little vintage Santa sign from Dollar Tree, this is more of a hack and then a DIY. I also want to use this little window that I made in a previous video along with that fence that you saw in the previous project, and I will link that for you so you can check that out if you're interested in making this. And I want Santa to be able to peek through the window. So here is how I did that. First, I just took my paint scraper and I just pried the joy sign away from the main sign itself. I wasn't too concerned with damaging the bottom of the sign. It would be covered up, but I wanted to make sure I kept the main part of the sign intact. After that, I used the window to mark out how or what size I wanted the sign to be, because I didn't want the tag to pop up over the height of the window. Once I had that measured out, I'm going in with a metal ruler and my utility knife, and I am just trimming off that extra top part of the tag or the sign, whatever you want to call it, so that I no longer need that part. And then all I have to do is use a little picture frame or a picture stand holder, or rest it on a wall if you want to. And there you have Santa peeking through the window, and place that little joy right on front of that little window ledge. And I think this is such a cute little hack. For my next project, I will be using 2 of these super cute tags from the Dollar Tree. I absolutely love these tags, and I picked up several of them. I am also using some more paper from Hobby Lobby. Again, I get this for $1. I start by giving the tags just a really quick sand to get the extra glitter off so that they are nice and smooth. And then I go in with some Mod Podge in order to so that I can attach the paper to it. So I give it a thin coat of Mod Podge, I lay the paper on it. Once the paper is all set up, just like I did earlier in a project, I use my sandpaper in order to get that paper off. Remembering again that you want to go side to side or away from the paper so that you do not lift up your edges. So on one of the ornaments, I'm going in with my stencil, the Let It Snow, and I'm only going to be stenciling out the snow part of this. So I use tape to tape off any extra parts so I don't get extra paint anywhere that I don't want it. Again, using the exact same Waverly brush that I used earlier, and going in and getting paint onto my brush, dabbing off the extra paint so that my paintbrush feels almost dry. I'd never want too much paint on it or it will seep underneath that stencil, and then pouncing just straight up and down. It may take a little bit of time and patience, but do that and you will find that you have a nice, clean stencil line. So here I have a snowflake that comes also in a pack of 5. It's just one of those wooden ornaments, and I'm taking Waverly's elephant chalk paint and just really quickly giving it a light coat, letting some of that wood come through underneath because I want it to look distressed. Now, if you see on the tag, it says Let It, and some stickers, don't worry about those. I actually am going to remove it. I didn't like the way they looked, so I didn't even bother showing you me putting them on there because I change it out anyway. Once the paint all dried, it is now time for me to attach my tags together. And here you see I'm fidgeting around trying to decide exactly where I wanted that snowflake. So I place it at the bottom of the one tag. And then I use the second tag to actually cover up the little hole that is in that snowflake as I'm hot gluing that down. I did go in and I poked out the holes on the tags just to help know where I wanted to place the rope that I was placing down. This is actually some hemp, but you could use some thicker jute. It's whatever you have. It's just a little bit thicker than your traditional twine, a little thinner than your rope. You can find something like this easily at like Walmart. I just tied a knot in order to create a loop, and then 2 knots on the ends. And then once I had those tied together, I used some hot glue in order to secure those, and then I just trimmed off the excess. I also went ahead and I pulled out my black stickers that you can get from Dollar Tree and placed those on there in order to spell the Let It, and I think these look so much better than the stickers I had on there previously. And I think this is so cute. It's great to use like on a tiered tray, as a standalone decor, or even as an ornament in your tree. There are so many options. I just adore it. Using another one of those tags and some more paper from Hobby Lobby, I decided to go ahead and make another ornament for my Christmas tree. Just like in the previous project, you are going to sand to get the extra glitter off, apply some Mod Podge, then place down your paper and work through any bubbles that are there. Once it sets up and dries, use the sandpaper again in order to get a nice, clean, trimmed edge. In order to get my whole back that I covered up with the paper, I just used the back end or the bottom end of top end of a paintbrush and just punch that right in. And then I'm just going to use some twine that I fold up together 3 times and I push that through. I wanted my twine to be a little bit thicker just because the tag was larger, and I just tied a little knot in order to create a loop, and that is how I'm able to hang the tag onto my tree. Now, you could leave it just like this, and I think it's super cute with a little car and tree on it, but I wanted to give it a little bit more embellishment, so I'm using these jumbo popsicle sticks that I picked up at Dollar Tree. Sometimes they're hard to find. You can find some at Walmart, super easy, and they're about the same price. So I'm just taking the popsicle sticks and some scissors and trimming them out at different lengths. I did a total of 5 different popsicle sticks. And then I'm going in with some Waverly Wax and Antique. This gives like a really pretty stain effect. And here you only see 2 popsicle sticks. I did end up going back and adding 3 more to this, plus a smaller one in order to be the trunk of the tree. I have to be honest, the smallest one that you do is the hardest one because a lot of times the popsicle sticks just want to split. So it is easier if you cut it towards the end of the popsicle stick than towards the middle of the popsicle sticks. Or maybe that's just me. You could try taping it off. If you have a tip for me, I would love to hear, but that was challenging for me. Here you see that I'm taking that same Waverly Wax around the edges just to give it a little bit of distressing. So once I had all of my popsicle sticks in this pretty little wax stain and they had all dried, I went in with some hot glue and I just attached them straight onto my tag. I think this is so cute. It was so easy and fast to make, and I just love having it as an ornament on my Christmas tree. I hope that you enjoyed all of today's projects. As always, I love hearing which one of these is your favorite, so let me know that in the comments below. I am winding down on my Christmas DIYs, but I have an entire Christmas playlist for you to check out if you need some more inspiration or if you're looking for some gift ideas. So make sure that you check that out as well. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, please make sure that you do so you don't miss any of my future videos. I have so many fun ideas coming your way and I cannot wait to share them. I hope you're having a fantastic holiday season and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.